Excuse me. Can I have the bucket again? I want the bucket. Bucket!
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms.
Aww.
With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Yes. Bucket is everything. Bucket is life.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I'm gonna try that again. I want to see if it gives me the same exact thing.
To him, telling him
I'm
that
running
the
into a wall.
employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Stanley not took disrespect the bucket. We saw what happened when you disrespect the bucket. Everything dies.
No, said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
Bucket wants me
the
to
cargo lift. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top.
Yes,
There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Yes. We must always, always listen to the bucket. Always.
In here,
said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Yes, bucket.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Yes.
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone?
Because I did.
Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
Please don't freeze again.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing?
I don't know.
How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half. Pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny. I'm Dunny with the funny! Hello? Hello? Oh, please don't freeze again.
Good.
Okay.
This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, You'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and
What?
will very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles.
What?
All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us,
What?
and their children after them. Godspeed, and may
What?
Earth reign supreme.
What? Huh?
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then.
Huh?
So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the 2 doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along,
Okay.
let's head back.
Got it. Let's go. Very confused with what just happened, but okay. Oh, you're gonna let me jump anymore? Aw.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery.
Where did my bucket one
bucket,
go?
You'll say, how ridiculous. How
I don't have the
absurd. What a
bucket sticker.
hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we have the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy,
I'd
that's
have
for
that
sure.
10 minutes back of my
The
life.
bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke.
No.
Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Bucket, 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 bucket is everything. Bucket. So what I did during that inspirational video is I went through all my Discord chat and then just spam buckets. So that's gonna be fun. Bucket! The bucket is everything.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Nope. Bucket! Ooh. Geronimo!
What? We're back at the phone already? No, what's
How did we
going
get
on? There
here?
were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this.
Hello?
There was supposed to be a build-up to this point.
Hello?
A dramatic
Hello?
display of
Hello?
remarkable
Hello?
comedic
Hello?
wit,
Hello?
which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have
Bucket.
forgotten that the phone room
Bucket.
comes immediately
Bucket.
after the 2 doors
Bucket.
room. What an
Bucket.
egregious mistake.
Bucket.
I've made a fool of
Bucket.
myself.
Bucket.
I don't deserve the
Bucket.
title of King of Comedy. I'm
Bucket.
nothing.
Bucket.
I'm not even the lowliest
Bucket.
joke-telling whelp. I think
You should embrace the bucket like I have.
think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video
I have.
again.
Do not make me do that.
Surely that will help me improve my...
Bucket, protect me. No!
Here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Nope. Bucket, 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 bucket. Embrace the bucket.
We're back
You
at
must
the phone
embrace the
already.
bucket, narrator.
No. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the
You
bucket
must
came to a set of 2
embrace the
open doors,
bucket.
they entered the door on the left.
Embracing the bucket is the only way.
What?
Bucket.
We're back at the phone already?
Yep.
No. Here we
I'm gonna
go.
keep doing
You
this.
ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Bucket. We can keep doing. I can do this all day.
We're back at the phone
I
already.
can do this all day.
Here we go. You
I
ready?
can do this
When
all
Stanley
day.
and the bucket came
I
to a
can
set
do
of 2
this
open
all
doors,
day.
they entered the door on the left.
Goes on and on and on.
What?
And it goes on
We're back at
and
the phone
on
already.
and on.
No.
Yeah. I throw my buckets in the air
Here we
sometime.
go. You ready?
And they say,
When Stanley and the
"Hey,
bucket came to a set of
yeah,
2 open doors,
let's
they
go."
entered the door on the left.
Alright, fine.
No, 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 no. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Yes, I have my bucket.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison.
Oh,
yes.
please don't tell me I have to listen to
Let me
this.
try that again, Stanley.
The bucket is life.
Over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are.
Do
No.
do 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 do
Is it the
do
do?
do do do
Pale
do
with
do
shame.
do do
Pale with
do
shame.
do 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 do.
Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket?
Amazing,
Stanley,
glorious,
mental. I
spectacular.
think I saw it playing guitar.
It can.
No. We're getting away
Nothing.
from making fun of Stanley's
The bucket
obsession
can
with
do
the
everything
bucket,
and
which is the
everything
whole
and
point.
everything and
I
everything and
need
everything and
to
everything.
Jukes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is.
Bucket,
That's
bucket,
what will
bucket,
make
bucket,
me the
bucket,
king of
bucket,
comedy
bucket,
again.
bucket,
More
bucket, bucket,
instructional
bucket.
videos. Let's see.
The bucket is mine. Bucket. Now what happens if I answer the phone? I'm just gonna end up playing this all night. I love this game. This is so much fun. Do 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 do. I need to go get my bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Bucket!
What could it mean? Stanley
my
decided
bucket.
to go to the meeting room. Stanley
Fine.
picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around.
The bucket is my only true companion. Isn't that right, Bucket?
Stanley
Isn't that
clutched
right?
the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the
I'm gonna
meeting
go
room,
answer the phone
but
now.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to
Speed
him,
run!
telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
What's the
And
dream
here it
music?
was.
Doo-doo?
Had the
Is it
bucket
like
turned
doo-doo
out to be
doo-doo?
correct?
Yeah, I think
Well,
that's
no,
it.
Never mind.
Do do do
The
do.
bucket was wrong.
Do 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 do.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, I want the bucket.
No.
Said the bucket.
Yes,
Don't go
I must
to the
listen
meeting
to the
room.
bucket.
Go somewhere else.
I must
The
only
cargo
listen
lift.
to the bucket.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Yes.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have
Because
alarmed
the bucket
him, of
is
course,
the
because
bucket.
buckets can't talk.
There is
But
nothing to
Stanley chose
question.
not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Of course. We must always listen to the bucket. Always. Always.
In here,
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Yes.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once
Where's-
upon a time, I gave
where-
Stanley a bucket because
where's
I
my
thought he was
bucket?
lonely and could use a friend.
Where's my
And
bucket?
then, very distressingly,
Bucket?
he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Bucket? Bucket? Where? Where's my bucket? Bucket! Where? It's here. It's here, it's safe. Stanley, it's me. Your bucket. Us to take to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It
Bucket.
doesn't literally talk and give you
There it is.
orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
No! Take me home with you, yes.
Lately, I've been concerned about him.
Where?
Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
All I need is you, Bucket. All I need is you back to work.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket.
No.
It can't think. It can't talk. All it would
Liar.
ever truly do for you is
Liar.
effectively transfer a liquid from one location
Liar.
to a different location.
You're a liar.
That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
You're a liar!
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Ignore everyone in your life except me, of course.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket.
My bucket.
Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Mine! You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Of course. I always believe
Yes,
in
I
you,
suppose
Bucket.
on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your
He's
average
mine.
hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say?
It's my
Sturdier,
bucket.
more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
To relive the same day with me over and over. Yes.
Oh my God, what am I saying?
What?
Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Because it is. Go home. Go to home. Go to work. Go to home. Go to work. Go to home. Go to work.
Oh no. I'm having feelings
Bucket.
for the bucket. No,
Bucket.
no.
Bucket.
What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes.
He's mine!
The bucket could tell
will
me what to
stay
do
away
in this
from me.
troublesome situation.
Stay away from my
Stanley,
bucket.
give me
No!
the bucket. Give it to me.
No!
Give me the bucket, Stanley.
Never!
I need it.
No!
Give it to me now. Give it
No!
or I'll...
No! 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 Bucket? Go back to work, Stanley. Of course, Bucket. Of course, whatever you say. Whatever you say, Bucket. Whatever you say.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I think we're gonna
What could it mean?
listen to him this
Stanley
time.
decided
We'll
to go
listen
to the
to
meeting
him this
room.
time.
Perhaps he had simply
Yeah.
missed a memo.
Of course, grab
The
my
good
bucket.
old bucket.
Good
Just
old bucket.
Stanley and the bucket. Off on
Uh-huh.
another thrilling adventure
I
together.
know, right? We're great together.
Stanley clutched the
Onward!
bucket tightly to his chest
Of course.
and entered the door on his
I
left.
can't go anywhere without my bucket. I have two now. Okay, so some are both red and blue, so I have to go to the other fireplace. A private. I think that's the bathroom. Okay, let's go to the bathroom. I think it's in the bathroom. I've got a lovely bunch of buckets.
Coming to a staircase,
Here they all are
Stanley and the
standing
bucket
in a
walked
row.
upstairs to the boss's office.
Big one, small one, some as big as your head. Give him a flick of drizzle with what the showman said. Oh, I've got a lovely bunch of pockets.
Okay, I'm going back to the name
Yes!
of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies.
Excuse
What
me?
do you think, Stanley?
I
What
don't
name better
care. We should name it
encapsulates the
Bucket.
intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen
I
go up by
know.
one. Let me
I
sit on
know,
it.
it's so
I'm
amazing.
Sure it
I
will
love
come
it.
To me.
Don't you love it, Bucket? You gotta close that door. I've got a lovely bunch of buckets. Doodly-doo. Here they all standing in a row. 1, 2, 3. Big one, small one, some. Ooh, I wonder if the elevator does something with the bucket. button. Shall we see? Here we go. We want to Bucket. Where do we think we should go? I think we should go. Bucket says we should go up. Let us go up, Bucket. Do 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 do. Buckets, buckets, buckets everywhere. Buckets everywhere. It's still not going to do anything. This displeases the bucket.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Yes, the bucket.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always.
Yes.
The bucket would.
Shall always
And
be with
he
me.
knew it. The two of them
Always.
were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
No, the bucket
Was
showed
it the
me.
bucket knew all along?
The bucket
Was
shows
the
me the
bucket
way.
guiding him? Yes.
Always.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
Of course, it always is. The bucket is always correct. Mine.
You're getting close now, Stanley.
I know.
You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very
I
soon,
know.
you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and
I
that
know.
will be it.
I know.
We'll be different people by then.
Yes.
Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all.
Of course.
You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
They are amazing. The bucket says so, so it must be true. Boop! Onward!
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
The bucket will
Soothing
keep me
him,
safe.
comforting him,
bucket
reassuring that
always
in this
keeps me
darkest
safe.
moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Yes.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Oop.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall.
Thank you, bucket.
Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so
Help.
eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be
Help.
to simply get comfortable down
Not
here.
again. Not again.
So they set up a little couch and relaxed.
Okay.
It really wasn't so bad down here. A bit cold, perhaps.
It's not as bad as last. It's not like last time.
After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis.
Yeah, he loves them.
But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in
yes.
that it
This
really
is
started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control
Not that
facility.
it matters.
This
All
lack
that
of
matters
closure
today.
began to eat at him. Soon he was
No.
dwelling on his regrets, and the
Oh,
state of
Bucket,
their
help.
home slowly decayed
Bucket,
as Stanley
please.
became withdrawn and neglected the
Bucket,
cleaning.
no. No.
It unsettled the bucket deeply.
No.
Stanley wasn't usually like this.
I'm sorry,
The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Why does this game contend on keep breaking me over and over again? Why? Why? Bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps...
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be...
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Of course, it's
And here
always
it was.
better.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
It's always
Never
correct.
mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through
Let's
the
see
maintenance
if this
section
has
and walked
changed.
straight ahead to the
Boop.
opposite door.
The bucket said no. Ooh.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
What? We care about you, Stanley.
You see, your friends and I are
Uh-huh.
concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere.
What?
The
What?
bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never
No!
seen before.
It's mine!
Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're
Why?
spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Do I get to keep my bucket? I want my bucket. I want to keep my bucket. The bucket is mine. You can't have it.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
The music. What? No. Okay, bucket.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue? Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give
Yeah.
them more content exactly like this.
Sure.
But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No. No. No, I won't. You can't take him from me. You can't. I won't let you. No.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
No!
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
No. No.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley
No.
Parable. True,
No.
it also was not in the original game,
No.
but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it
No.
already feels as though it's been
No,
part of
no,
the
no,
cast
no,
all
no.
along. Don't you agree?
No.
Can
No.
you guess what the bucket destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you.
No.
Go
No,
ahead now,
no,
Stanley.
No.
Say goodbye to the bucket.
Never!
And then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No. Get me out. No. I can't.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait.
I won't.
Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the bucket destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of bucket destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the bucket destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the bucket destroyer until you crush that damn bucket.
Never!
Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry!
Never!
The bucket destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
It was terrible. I will never, ever give up the bucket. It's mine.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
Yes. The bucket is everything.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
One more left. That doesn't matter, only the bucket mattered. Only the bucket matters.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
8.
Crushed by the weight of this
4,
revelation,
5.
Stanley may have but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
Drop the bucket.
The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Everything will be fine.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
No.
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do?
Never.
What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Never.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Yes, I can only trust the bucket. The bucket
But here
is
was
my
the
only
proof.
friend.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror.
No.
Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
The
How could the
bucket
bucket have
knows
betrayed him
what
like
is
this?
best.
Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust
No.
when suddenly an
Never.
image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Birds. Birds.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.